Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, we are Matt and Diane. We are a couple from Texas and we are planning a move to Albania next year. And if you've been following along with us, you already know that we have spent a lot of time talking about the reasons that Albania has caught our attention. We've talked about the lower cost of living, the ability for Americans to stay for up to a year without a visa, the idea of a more walkable lifestyle, and the possibility of slowing life down just a little. And all of that is true. We are genuinely excited about all of those things. But today we wanted to make a different kind of video because we think that this matters just as much. And we never want to be one of those channels that only talks about the dream version of moving abroad. And we don't want to act like every day is going to be sunshines and espresso and perfect views because it is absolutely not. Real life is more complicated than that. And honestly, it should be. So today we wanted to talk about the parts of moving to Albania that we are not excited about. Not because we're backing out and not because we think it's a bad idea, but because we believe that you can be hopeful and honest at the same time.
Hey y'all, we're Matt and Diane. We're a U.S. couple planning to retire in France in 2030, but we found a way to start that journey 3 years earlier by starting in Albania. So we're taking our time, digging into each place, and learning what life there is really like. Come with us.
And I think that's an important point. Whenever people talk about moving somewhere new, especially another country, it's easy to focus on what you gain. Lower expenses, new scenery, fresh energy, maybe a better pace of life. Those things matter. We have talked about them plenty. But every move also comes with trade offs. There are things you gain and there are things that you give up. There are conveniences you don't appreciate until they're gone. There are routines you don't think about until they change. And if we're going to share this journey with you honestly, then we need to talk about that side too. Before we get into the main part of the video, we want to share our comment of the week.
This week's comment comes from at RR98 guy, who is actually living in Tirana right now. We always appreciate comments like this because they come from someone who is living the reality day by day, and that perspective is incredibly valuable. His comment reads, I moved to Tirana in March of 2026. I have seen both the good and the bad in the time that I have been here. I have been in Europe for almost 10 years, so the expat life is not new to me, and seldom do I feel at this point like a fish out of water. Tirana is not laid out like most cities in the US. In other words, development was seriously poorly planned during the communist era. Many properties that had what we would call in the US a normal yard do not exist. Many structures have barely any garden space, if at all, and parking spaces are hard to find in many areas. I have to say, many cities in Europe, especially Eastern Europe, are like that.
Owning a car is possible but not worth the effort for many people. I need to get around occasionally out of my local neighborhood. Calling a taxi is just easier or taking a bus. I have not once felt unsafe here in Tirana, even walking alone at night. Certainly, crime happens here, but I feel safe. I rented a house here in the center near Skanderbeg Square, and I like it a lot here. I do see a lot of stray cats around the city, but at least in my area, I have only seen a couple of dogs. They seemed friendly. The good point for me, no grass to mow. I do not need a car. I have a lot of shopping that is easily in walking distance, and plus one about Rossmann, great store.
Now, that's the kind of comment that I really appreciate because it sounds like real life.
It doesn't sound like somebody trying to sell you something. It doesn't sound like somebody trying to scare you. It sounds like somebody saying there are positives, there are frustrations, there are trade offs. And here's what everyday life feels like. That kind of honesty is very useful.
And honestly, that's what we're trying to do in this video too. We're not trying to criticize Albania, and we're definitely not trying to romanticize it either. We are trying to look at it like adults making a major life decision, and that means being excited while also being realistic.
One of the first things I think will be an adjustment is that Albania may not feel like the version of Europe many Americans imagine. A lot of people picture Europe as clean cobblestone streets, restored historic buildings, outdoor cafes, and postcard scenes everywhere you turn. And I'm sure there are places where that exists. But from everything we've seen, there are also areas that feel rough around the edges. Older buildings, infrastructure that may need updating, streets that feel more lived in than polished. Personally, that doesn't scare me. I'm not somebody who needs everything to look perfect. But I do think it's fair to say some people could arrive expecting one thing and experiencing something else.
Now, for me, I know environment affects me more than it does Matt. If a place feels calm and orderly and cared for, then I feel calm. If a place feels chaotic and neglected, I notice it quickly. And that doesn't mean that it's wrong, it just means that it affects me. So I know that adjusting to a place that may feel less polished in some areas is going to be a part of the transition for me. And I'd rather say that now than pretend that I'm above it. Another thing that we hear often is that Tirana, especially, doesn't feel laid out like many US cities. Parking can be difficult, roads can feel tighter, private outdoor space may be more limited, and yards that many Americans take for granted may not be common. We were just talking about that on our live today
Yeah,
about how I want a yard, at least a little one,
and they're few and far between.
right?
You really got to do your homework and look.
Hmm. And coming from Texas, where space is abundant and parking lots look like airport.
Airport.
What
Rampart.
is an airport? How about an airport? An airport runway. I feel like this is going to be an adjustment.
Texas really does spoil you when it comes to space. Wide roads, giant stores, huge parking lots, driveways, garages. You can get used to all of that without even realizing it. So when people say a city feels tighter, more crowded, harder to park in, I'll definitely believe that. At the same time, a lot of older cities were built before everybody expected giant vehicles and endless convenience. So some of that may be Albania, and some of that may be just us needing to recalibrate what normal looks like. And I'll be honest, the idea of not needing a car sounds pretty dang good to me. No insurance bill, no gas prices, no surprise repairs, no registration, no waking up and hearing a weird sound from the engine that somehow costs $800 to fix. There's a lot to like about that, but I also know we've spent our whole lives being able to jump in the car anytime we want. If we need something, we go. If we feel like driving somewhere, we go. That kind of convenience gets baked into our life. So giving that up may feel freeing in some ways and frustrating in others.
And that's exactly how I see it too, because there's this romantic version of walking everywhere and living this simple life. And then there's real life where it's raining or you forgot something or you're tired, and suddenly the car that you don't have sounds amazing. So, again, it's not good or bad, it's just a trade off. I think that one of the most underrated parts of moving abroad is how many tiny habits can change. Something as simple as drinking water can become different. If bottled water becomes the norm, that changes a routine. You buy it, you carry it, you store it, you make sure you don't run out. And that may sound minor, but dozens of little changes like that can wear on you mentally.
And I think people even imagine the adjustment as one giant dramatic moment. But most of the time, it's not one big thing, it's 100 little things. Different stores, different systems, different expectations, new routines for simple tasks. None of them are huge on their own, but stacked together, they will take your energy.
How like these words are taking your vocal energy. Tasks.
I want to speak and it just wouldn't come out. It was. Now, people often say, you'll be fine. People speak English, and maybe in many situations that is true. But visiting somewhere and living somewhere are two totally different experiences.
Ordering coffee is one thing. Navigating paperwork, dealing with housing issues, understanding bills, asking medical questions, that's a whole other thing. For me, the stressful part wouldn't be the language itself, it would be uncertainty, not knowing if I fully understood, not knowing if I explained myself clearly, not knowing what I missed. That kind of uncertainty can be exhausting over time.
Or doing no and yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess it up, y'all.
We are going to butcher
I'm
that.
gonna offend so many people.
You are going to have them confused.
Well,
You'll be saying yes, no, wait, yes, no.
leave it to us to change it to be bass backwards. Then,
Man.
now this one is more emotional for me. Seeing stray animals regularly would be hard. Cats and dogs and animals that may have had a rough life, that's difficult if you love animals. And I know myself, I would feel that because I love puppies. I love puppies. And so I'm going to want to help every one of them, even though I know that they're all taken care of. You know, people feed them. A lot of them are outside working and doing things, but still, it's just totally different than what we're used to.
Well, it's like I carry dog treats in my car, my patrol car, and I'll be driving down the road and I'll see a dog that's just wandering the streets, and you can tell he's hungry or something like that. So I'll toss out several milk-bone dog biscuits for him, and
Not a sponsor.
no, and they love it.
Yeah,
It's a good way to make friends too and not get bit.
but it is going to be difficult seeing puppies, well, and cats too, but I'm more of a dog person than a cat person. Don't come for me. It's just a preference. So it is going to be hard seeing the puppies on the
Yeah,
road.
no. Granted, a lot of them are taken care of and they're owned by somebody. They just don't
Keep them in the
keep
yard.
them in the yard like they do here or supposed to.
Could you imagine if we didn't keep George in the yard?
Oh, he'd be a speed demon and out there just going everywhere he
Barking at
can.
everybody, just he barks at everything. He's so rude, y'all. Really. He's getting ruder the older he gets.
He just gets crotchety. Then there's also general cleanliness in some areas. Trash, neglected spaces, things that may not feel as maintained as what we're used to. Some people won't care much about that. Others absolutely will. So it's fair to mention because everyday surroundings do affect how people feel.
That would affect me because I'm not saying that I'm a clean freak, but everything has its place.
I've seen some videos where there's been volunteer groups, and
Yeah.
really a lot of the volunteers that I've seen on some of these videos are the expats over there cleaning up after expats that come out for a vacation. They leave all their trash out there near the beach or around town and stuff, and they actually get together and try to clean up what they can, which
I,
which I think that's awesome. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting involved in something like
I
that.
have a feeling we would be getting involved in something like that because I can, when I am around clutter or things are disorganized, if I have to be around it, then it's like we said earlier, it starts to feel chaotic. I don't function well. I know you probably got some smart comment in your head, but I don't function well when it's chaos. And I don't know why
No,
I'm
it's
like that.
it's like we see some of these videos of houses like we watch, and the people have just so much stuff in their house. It there's nowhere of getting around. I mean, open it up, clean that stuff out, make it look good. And I think a lot of people around, it would make them feel good having a nice clean area.
Yeah. So
So
we'll definitely be trash picker uppers.
I mean, even if I'm the type where if I see something laying right there while I'm walking by it, I pick it up and toss it in the trash.
Maybe as we're walking
It's
around,
I bet.
when we leave the house every day, we'll just take a bag with us and we'll just, every time we leave the house, we'll just pick up trash on the way to where we're going.
Well, I mean, they've got trash cans throughout the place. It's
Well,
just a
I'm
lot of
saying.
these people miss it, and that's what I don't understand. You know,
I'm talking about teenagers when my kids were teenagers, especially one of them that's no longer a teenager. You know who you are.
and I know who she is.
Still like that today. Anyway, that's another video.
Healthcare is another one for me. Not because I assume something bad, just because anything unfamiliar feels heavier until you understand it. You don't think much about healthcare until the moment you need it. Then suddenly it matters a whole lot.
Right. Different systems, different expectations, different processes. That doesn't automatically mean worse. It just means unfamiliar. And unfamiliar things can feel stressful until they become normal. Honestly, this may be the biggest one for me. Leaving what's familiar. Family, friends, familiar stores, familiar roads, knowing how life works without thinking about it. That comfort is real, and I think you appreciate it most when you imagine leaving it behind. I've said it a billion times. We're going to be exhausted at the end of the day trying to figure things out because I know what to do here. I know who to call, I know what to do, and we're gonna know nothing.
I did notice something that was not on your list.
Hmm.
That was your job.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
You're not going to miss your job?
No, I'm not gonna miss my job. You gonna miss your job?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to be smiling more.
Making fun of me more. Not like you don't do that enough as
That's an
it.
idea.
He's getting more and more rude the longer we're married. Y'all have heard it. What did you say to me on the live today that everybody, oh, he's talking about how bad my singing was today.
I did not say your singing was bad. I never said that. Did I?
Did you imply it?
I didn't even imply it. I said like I said before, your singing is like an angel, and I always get a tear in my eye when she sings.
He's so rude, y'all. My gosh. You don't want Diane singing happy birthday to you. You're letting me do it. Rude.
No, I was talking about everybody else over there singing happy birthday to me, and you said you would sing it to me. And I was thinking, no, they need to sing it to me. That's what was going through my head. Was they need to sing it to me because I'm sitting there on live singing it to them.
Not me.
You sing it to me anytime you want. They can't. They've got like within an hour or so of being able to do it.
Yep.
I want to see them typing that happy birthday to you. A lot of people focus on cost of living and visas, which makes sense. But emotional cost matters too. Distance matters, missing ordinary moments matter, missing the people you love on random Tuesdays matters. And sometimes those ordinary moments are the things you miss the most. At the end of the day, we may get there and love it. We may struggle at first. We may be surprised in really good ways. We may be surprised in difficult ways. That's life. That's moving anywhere.
Yeah. And that's really the point of this video. We are so excited. We are hopeful, but we're also realistic. Those things can exist together. And honestly, that's probably the healthiest mindset that we can bring into a move like this. So when we say these are the parts of moving to Albania that we're not excited about, it doesn't mean we're not going. It means we are trying to go with our eyes wide open.
And that's probably the best way to approach anything big in life.
So now we would love to hear from you. What would be the hardest adjustment for you if you moved abroad? We are friends with people that have just moved abroad, Lainey and Jeff. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing if I was y'all. Um, gosh, we've had
We've got a lot of people that are actually over there in Albania that they've they've really been helpful on a lot of information, and they're telling us anything from paperwork to get over there to restaurants that we need to try when we get over there, to what cities are doing what. It's just everybody has been extremely helpful.
but let us know in the comments what would be the hardest adjustment for y'all because I'm curious to see if y'all are like us.
I think our personally, I think my hardest adjustment is going to be leaving all the family behind
Hmm. Oh, absolutely.
because we've got grandbabies that are
Little.
little, and we're going to be staying in contact through video.
Yeah. Well, and I see and talk to my kids on a regular basis, so that's gonna be hard. And our parents and so yeah, that's gonna be a big adjustment. That's gonna be the hardest adjustment, but then you've got everything else that you're just having to try to figure out. Um, that's gonna be a big adjustment too, just trying to figure stuff out. And then you've got the little things too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff where, yes, they do have expat groups over there that you can get involved with. They can help you with probably different questions that you have. And that's going to be extremely helpful for us.
Patrick and Dan, y'all don't know it yet, but y'all will be walking with us everywhere we go in Tirana at first, telling us go here, go here, go here. So I hope you're ready.
Just no holding hands. We got to walk like we're in a Vespa gang, remember?
Oh yeah, the Vesperados. You got a rep to protect. Sheesh.
If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And if you'd like to follow the journey, make sure you subscribe. Push that button. We post new videos every Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Central Time.
Yes.
And we go live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central for our Sunday coffee, snack, and chat. We have the best time. We always say that. I'm sure you're sick of hearing that, but we have the best time. And we've had quite a few new people come lately.
Yes.
So, y'all, welcome.
And we like it when everybody gets involved in talking because we talk about random stuff. We don't actually talk about
Yeah.
just one thing here and there. I mean, we talk about anything that pops up.
Eh,
Somebody moving over to France, somebody giving us information on certain places and everything. I mean, It's anything.
But we've also built this community to where everybody helps everybody.
Yeah.
So if somebody has a question, 4 or 5 people might chime in with an answer.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if somebody, what I like to see is, some people will, like this girl today said that she just sold her house. And then all of the people that came in and was congratulating her for doing that, she's
Yeah.
about to move to Albania. So we have built such a great community. So if you guys want to be a part of that, you really should join us every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Bring your snacks,
just
but it's
bring
it's
it
fun.
in. We have fun, and we'll talk about anything you want.
We also have a Patreon page if you guys want to check that out. There's lots of insider notes, there's spreadsheets, there's lots of information on different areas.
And it's free.
It's free, not just for Albania, but there's also a lot of stuff for France there as well. You can buy us a coffee on our Buy Me a Coffee page if you wish. And we also have merch if you would like to check out our merch store. Also, if you would like to become a member of our channel, please click the link below.
And again, we appreciate every one of you for being here.
Yeah, we really do. And so you guys have a great week, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Bye bye.